Yo, it's Rod DeVoe, Third Party Podcast, Season 2, Episode 5, with special guest Mark Allen.
I'm Mark Allen, on with the Third Party Podcast.
Third Party Podcast, special co-host today, Mukman Islam, helping out. What's up, Muk?
Psycho. What's up, good brother? Long time no see.
I know, right? Me and Muk used to hold it down back in the day. Our guy Musin is away right now doing official Third Party Podcast business. Musin holding it down for us at the IGNA convention. Hey, today we got a very special show. We got Mark Allen. Welcome to the show, Mark.
What's going on?
Mark represents the principles that we about on the show: culture, faith, and excellence. He probably 100 in all three of those categories: culture, faith, and excellence. Mark is an expert in accounting and finance. In Philadelphia, he has served high roles in many companies, to name a few: the City of Philadelphia, Universal Companies, Miskeen Originals, and Southwest Leadership Academy Charter. Mark received his bachelor's in accounting from Kutztown University and his master's in taxation from Philadelphia University. Mark is also an Ironman triathlete and a Team USA International duathlete. Did I say that right? Duathlete?
Yes.
I want to start off by just jumping right into it, Mark. In 2019, while competing in an Ironman triathlon, you suffered a traumatic heart event. Your heart did not beat for 40 minutes.
Yes.
Tell us about that.
I don't really remember, but it was really traumatic. So the last memory I have was getting in the water. The next thing that I knew, I was strapped down, going to McGee in the ambulance. But it was crazy.
A triathlon is...
Swim 1.2 miles, bike 56 miles, and then run a half marathon.
You can do that, Mo?
No. I ain't gonna lie.
I can't. Listen.
I want to do one, though, but I ain't there yet.
So how many of these had you competed in up until that event?
4 Ironman, 4 half Ironmans, and numerous sprint triathlons and duathlons. So I went to Spain in 2019 to compete for Team USA in duathlon, which is run bike run.
So you were a part of Team USA?
Yes.
Wow.
So let me ask you a question. Lead up to that day, we talked about, you said you don't remember anything. Tell me about that morning, or at least when you're competing. Was anything different? Did you feel anything different? How was you leading up to that?
They say that I was antsy, but I have no memory for 30 days.
So you suffer
cardiac arrest. So that's when your heart, it just stops beating. And they hit me with the pedals 6 times within that hour.
It took 40 minutes.
Yes. So the thing about it is, when I got out of the water, they say that I just got out of the water into a rescue boat. And the guy asked me that I want some water. I took the water and then I passed out.
Wow.
And then he got on top of me doing CPR.
Wow.
He did CPR for 5 minutes in the boat. But the way that I felt, I'm 6'1", so I fell backwards in the boat. He had to get on top of me to do CPR.
So you had just came out of the water?
Yes.
Wow, mashallah. I didn't know that.
So for someone that heart does not beat for 40 minutes, what is the statistic, or not the statistics, but the likelihood about recovery?
I can give you that number. So only 10% of the people who have cardiac arrest, they make it. But only 10% of the 10% get their life back. So the other 90% they are vegetables.
Wow.
And that's any cardiac arrest, not 40 minutes.
Yes.
So
So I have like short-term memory loss because I suffer an anoxic brain injury, which means that your brain isn't getting any oxygen. For 40 minutes, I suffered an anoxic brain injury. So for 40 minutes, my brain wasn't getting any oxygen. So short-term memory loss, long-term memory loss. I had to learn to eat, walk, everything over again. I had to learn to read.
talk about that road to recovery and how being a Muslim has played a part in that role.
It made my faith so much stronger because the only thing that I can think of is Surah Insharah. Alam nasharak laka sadrak wa wadana anka wizrak. Alladhi anka dhahrak wa wadana anka dhikrak. Fa usri yusra. Innama usri yusra. Fa'idha faragta fansab. Wa ila rabbika fargab. So with every difficulty there is ease. Every difficulty there is ease.
So just to be able to do everyday normal stuff, getting back to that it's been difficult.
Yes.
How has your family helped deal with this as well?
My family has been by my side all the way. So they took me to doctor's appointments. So what day is it? Today is Sunday. So Wednesday, my daughter, she took off to take me to the doctors. Everyone has stepped up.
Wow.
So tell me about life. You may not be fully recovered. Alhamdulillah, I've seen you a couple of times beforehand. When I heard the news, man, Allah, it touched me, man, because it was rough. You were a mainstay in my life. I've known you for a long time. And also in South Philly, that masjid alone that knew you a lot of time. So everybody was praying for you. So alhamdulillah. 2 questions is, one, where are you in your stage of recovery now? What are you planning for the future? And the other one, and we can chop it up piece by piece, is like, what does that recovery look like for you now? What does life look like for you now?
So the first question,
Mm-hmm.
My memory is short, so can you repeat the question?
No problem. First question is, where are you in your recovery stage now?
I'm about 95% back to normal.
Oh, alhamdulillah.
So I still go to speech therapy.
Okay.
And I lose train of thought.
No problem. You're talking about speech therapy. You say you still go to speech therapy.
Yes. So I still go to speech therapy to get my speech back. I know that you can hear it.
Are you still working out?
I work out 4 days a week.
Oh, mashallah. Really? What you do?
I do cardio for a half an hour and then do circuit training for a half an hour.
So at this stage, like, what are your what are your goals around like working out? Do you plan to compete again, or
I'm retired?
You retired?
That's good move. Good decision. I understand that.
Alhamdulillah, man. I mean, I'd say, man,
I just want to stay in shape.
Right.
Okay.
As a community, I could say, man, we're fortunate that, to be able to sit here and have this conversation, and we appreciate your story and you willing to share. I saw that you recently received the award from the American Heart Association.
Yes.
What was that award based around?
They were just putting my story out there for more people, so that more people can know what happened to me, and I can be like an influence for them. So, of the survivors, only 10% of people make it back.
Right.
But only 10% of the 10% get their life back together. Right. So I'm of the 1%.
Wow.
Now looking back on it, right? Like you that 1%. How does that change your life output? How does that change your moments with your children? Does it change how you see life?
Yes, I don't take like life lightly. So every minute I appreciate it. Like I appreciate you sitting down talking to you. I appreciate my son. I appreciate everyone.
Alhamdulillah. So what would you say would be your goals from this? I think the article that Raed mentioned, you still in the gym, people hearing that's dope. So is there anything like you want to say, like moving forward, what's your next goals with, spreading this information, or even is there anything people could do beforehand to maybe prevent something like this?
There's nothing that can prevent it. So the thing about it was, I went to the cardiologist before it happened and had a test done. I had a full workup and they said that I was okay. But it's like a freak accident. So I have something that's called cardiomyopathy.
Okay. And that was you had before, or you had developed
This
it now?
is what they diagnosed me with.
Okay.
I also read that they attribute part of your survival. Obviously, it comes from the law, but they attribute to the shape and the condition that you were in leading up to it.
Yes, because normally they would have stopped after like 3 times.
Wow.
But they hit me 6 times.
Oh.
They were like, he can take it. In the boat, I spoke with him. He was like, this man didn't come for this. He was just racing today. I need to get him back to his family.
MashaAllah. Have you spoken to anybody who was involved in your survival since? Have you talked to them? What has that experience been like?
It's emotional because I really don't remember it. So, but when they talk, they cry, and it brings me to tears.
Wow. I mean, it's just an amazing story, man. It's really amazing. And, I can't stress it enough, man, how beautiful it is to be talking to you, and that the community has you, your children, your family, everybody still have you. How did you become Muslim?
The crazy thing is, I went to a wedding, a Muslim wedding, for my buddy Sadiq. And everything that I heard there, they were talking about Abraham and Adam. And I was like, I know this stuff. And I just wanted to go to Juma. That's how it started. And I just became Muslim from that.
Wow.
You know what I heard? I heard he was at a wedding, and I'm picturing the Muslimas. That's that's what I saw. I saw wedding, Muslimas, right?
Look at his face. Look at his face.
I'm just saying, brother. This was 95, 96?
So
96.
it was in 96?
Yes.
What was it? Something in particular, though, that was like the tipping point? Like, was it one thing that made you certain?
So I started practicing after I went to the wedding. So say from August to February of 96, I was practicing. And I remember going to the masjid down Temple. And the guy was like, you might as well take your shahada because you're practicing. You're not getting any benefit from it.
So him saying that was the spark, and you just decided to accept Islam.
Yes, during Ramadan.
Listen, so we bring a lot of guests on. One of the reoccurring things is Ramadan, like how special Ramadan is, and the brotherhood, the collectiveness, the sacrifice that everybody is making. It's usually a tipping point for a lot of people.
The guy, he was like, you're not getting any benefit from it. So you might as well just take your shahada and get the benefit.
MashaAllah.
How did you feel?
Like I was born again. A new baby.
Philly has a reputation for being a very Muslim city. In 96, you become a Muslim. How did that change you?
I don't think that it changed.
You were already practicing.
Yes.
96, people might think of Islam now. Like
No.
Philly, tell them how Philly was in 96 as far as Muslims.
There were a lot of us.
Right.
There was not, you said?
No.
Exactly. Okay. We're clear.
There weren't a lot. But I used to live like right down the street from Masjid Allah. And I used to hear the den every day. So much so while I was not Muslim, I knew the call for prayer.
Right.
So you say it wasn't a lot. How was your experience with seeing, a smaller group? Because people, I think now is taking the Shahada nowadays is much easier. You see halal restaurants, you see halal meat markets, you see places you can be comfortable with being Muslim. It was still a little uncomfortable being Muslim in '96. Wouldn't you agree?
Yes.
So how did you manage that?
Because all of my friends, they were Muslim.
Oh, okay.
Right. Spot on.
So you was part of that one of them families. That's people talk about in Philly as those families. He was connected to one of them families. That is just, certain families. In
This guy talking about being connected to a Muslim family.
I know people
So
who connected
I
to
live
these
right
families.
across the street from the Salahuddins.
Oh, mashallah.
So they embraced me when they heard that I took Shahada. They brought me in. He made sure I knew how to pray and everything.
Wow. Were there any challenges you faced early on as a young Muslim?
The thing about it was it came from my family.
Okay.
They were like, you're not eating pork. I was like, no. But my mom really embraced me. My father, not so much.
Right.
It took him a while for him to come around.
Sure.
It took me to have children for him to really embrace it.
Like, how was that reconciliation with your father about being Muslim?
It wasn't a conversation. He accepted my kids. I was like, if you don't accept my kids, then we won't have a relationship.
Yeah. It's interesting.
And he wanted my kids, so.
They say that's important nowadays. I think it's overrated, but.
Stop having kids and maybe you will forget.
That is true.
So on the show, we talk about culture, faith, and excellence. You were involved in one of the major Muslim culture experiences, probably one of the first major Muslim culture experiences in Philly. You were involved in Miskeen Originals. How did that happen?
The crazy thing is, we only wanted to sell to one store. So we were making shirts for Missouri. You know, Missouri on South Street. We walked into his store with the shirts. He was like, no, he wouldn't take them. We walked past Dr. Denham. He was like, what's in the bag? We showed him the shirts. We put the 12 shirts in the store. They sold out in like 2 minutes, in like 2 hours.
Wow.
And he came back asking for he asked for 72. It took us like 4 days to produce 72. And then they sold out like that too.
So before you get into that though, tell me how you got involved. Like, were you a part of the founding group? How did that work? When did you get involved?
Burrito.
Okay.
He had like this t-shirt. We were at the Eid. He sold me a t-shirt. I was like, you know that you can make money selling these shirts. He laughed at me and was like, I know. Because they had a clothing line before it called Funky Roots.
Okay.
So he was telling me that they were already selling the t-shirts. And then he introduced me to Ibn. Ibn was like, well, so we started this company on 10/24 of 99.
So this is 99. So this is like hip hop, Jay-Z, Nas.
Before we sold a t-shirt. So 10/24/99. So it was me, Ibn, and Barik. And he was like, we can't do it without Kenya. So we went and got Kenya. I remember we went from Philly to Atlanta trying to sell the shirts, and everybody told us no.
Wow.
And then we came back and we sold the shirts at Dr. Dinner.
That's awesome. I think that's dope. But can you explain these shirts? Because he just mentioned Miskeen up here.
Right.
But it was a very unique concept. Because I'm 99, I'm just about to graduate high school. A matter of fact, I had people who used to work in y'all shops. That was some of the main designers and stuff. So I know all about it. But explain this shirt. What made it unique as far as the shirt concept?
So every shirt was hand painted. And every shirt, so everything was like individual.
Right.
And they used to tag it, right?
Yes.
So these are hand painted original T-shirts.
Yes.
Right. And I guess at
wearable art.
Wearable art. And I guess at that point nobody had done it.
They used to do something like that in DC.
Okay.
But the thing about it was they would do it in DC and promote a store. No one ever started a brand with it.
Right. So you guys started the brand, and talk about the name Miskeen.
Miskeen means poor in Arabic. So it's like an oxymoron. We had people running around saying Miskeen that they are poor, and they are paying like $65 for a shirt.
T-shirt at the time in
the 90s, bro.
Right.
But it was like it was also like almost like a tribute or like a pride thing because you could see the tag. Because I don't know you know the guy Waldo. You know Waldo?
Yes.
Waldo went to high school with me. So me and Waldo would tell me how he was an artist, you know, little street artist. He's a draw up on the street up in Northeast, you know, back in the hood of Northeast. But he would do that, and then he got hooked on with Miskeen, and he would just have the little tag, and it was like a pride thing to get his shirt because you would see the tag.
So people, they used to like certain artists. So they would just collect their shirts because every T-shirt was signed.
Wow, that's
and I think that from a business model, that was dope. That was major. Like I don't think like they kind of do it now, but it's still like pre-made, like with like different major brands, but not the hand paint. But the point that was major. That was a
so
unique.
The thing about it was we only used to ship 24 shirts to a store, but it wasn't because we couldn't ship more. It was because we couldn't ship more to make it, to spread it out.
So obviously with a name like Miskeen, being an Arabic for poor, the shirts and the brand had a Islamic influence.
Everybody who worked for us was Muslim.
Right.
Except for Danny and Waldo.
Yeah. I know a lot of Muslims start their artistry. They started it over there. No, I know a lot of them started because they were just drawing. And next thing you know, they would be at Miskeen. And then you hear about it. A lot of people.
Essentially, you guys are taking Philly Islamic culture and putting it out to the world. How big, what's the scale at the height when you're involved in Miskeen?
So the thing about it was, imagine getting on a plane, and when you get off, your phone is ringing. They are like, Miskeen is in such and such city.
Right.
But I also
it was like Rockstar status.
Rockstar, right.
Yeah, I heard about those events in Vegas, the convention.
Magic show.
The magic show. That's where it be happening. I want to clarify the record. They didn't put on Philly Muslim culture. They made Philly Muslim culture. Because this was created, that was what created, that became a part of the Philly Muslim culture. Before that, it really wasn't a part of it. You know what I'm saying? It wasn't, nobody was like wearing that type of stuff. But when they started to find out and they knew a lot of people was making it, that handprint was the thing to get.
What are some of the big names of people that have worn Miskeen?
Jadakiss. I don't want to say Puffy. He got caught on. The thing about it was, when he was wearing it for himself.
Right.
So he got caught coming off of a boat with J-Lo.
Right. And
he had on a Miskeen t-shirt. And that blew us up.
Oh, wow, really?
Because he was wearing it with it wasn't product placement.
He just had it on regular and somebody took a picture of him.
He was coming off of a boat in Miami.
Like, is your phone ringing off the hook? Is sales going, like, other artists interested?
So, listen. So, we went from making $50,000 in our first year to our second year, we made $502,000. To our third year, we were making $1 million a month.
Wow.
$1 million a month. Wow, mashallah. I know Mark for a while, and he's not only an accountant, he consult businesses, he help people build businesses, and Miskeen is a perfect, in my opinion, like a case study of business. First question is, what was the catapulting thing that you think happened from a business side that allowed you to then jump into now from 500,000 and 50,000 a year to going eventually to $1 million a month?
When Puffy wore the shirt.
That's it.
It was like product placement was like the catalyst for everything because we didn't do any marketing.
Okay.
Wow.
So what did y'all do from a business perspective to be able to address that onslaught of new customers and new calls?
First thing we did was we would cut the production. So people place an order for like 100 t-shirts. We would only send them 24.
Mm-hmm.
So that we could spread out and we could service everyone. But we still had a backlog of like 20,000 t-shirts.
Right. So you kind of spread the t-shirts out as opposed to giving anybody like a full order of what they ask.
Yes.
That way you could get in it. You could have a further reach.
We made this thing up that they can only get 24 t-shirts per door.
Right.
So if a store had 10 doors, they can get 240
Right.
t-shirts.
Wow.
So that's like a 10 door. It would be like a Macy's if you were in a store like that. I'm saying like that's what you mean by doors, like actual entrances?
Yes.
Okay.
Like Kicks has like 100 stores across the country.
Oh, I see what you mean. So multiple stores. Okay. So you talked about Miskeen and his height. Do you think if you could look back on it from a business perspective, how would you have dressed things differently, or would you have dressed things differently? What if you could change anything from the business of Miskeen? Would you change anything?
So everything happened organically. So the thing about when we put the handprint on the back of the t-shirt, it was because someone was trying to copy us.
Okay.
So we need to do something to make us stand out. So we put a hand on the back of the shirt for people to know that it's like an original shirt.
Right.
So I don't think that I would do anything different.
Okay. Okay. How do you feel being a part of that? Like, how do you feel knowing that you played a part in that?
I don't. Because if you know, you know. I'm so lucky.
You look, come on, brother.
I
mean, but how does it make you feel about it? I get you don't care about other people. I'm with you on that. But how did like walking around just knowing when you see the different things, because I know y'all grow from the little place to the big warehouse over there in South Philly. Like I know other growth where you have multiple hands in there just creating. Like just to know that how the impact it made on the city, how does it make you feel?
But I think that I just stay humble.
Yeah.
So the thing about it was when you're in the middle of it, you don't see how big it is. You're just working.
Gotcha. All right, I feel you. I would have a different approach. I'll be pretty proud of myself, but I know what you mean. Though.
I mean, I think that definitely was the catalyst of the movement where the rest of the world kind of noticed Philly, noticed Muslim culture. You start seeing people wearing big T-shirts, right? Cutting, wearing the pants a little bit shorter. But I think Miskeen was influential in getting that.
The thing about Miskeen was we were like the anti-white T-shirt.
Right.
Remember back then, everyone wanted to wear a white T-shirt. So we were like anti-white T-shirt.
Right.
Was there ever any deal on the table that nobody knows about? Something crazy that could have. I know you said you don't regret anything, and alhamdulillah, as a Muslim, I agree we shouldn't. With law is a qadr, so everything happens for a reason. Like a deal that something was on the table that could have happened that didn't manifest.
We had a deal with Nike. So we had one Air Force One that came out. There was supposed to be 4.
You guys designed the Air Force One?
Yes, one of them came out.
How did it turn out? That actual product, was it sell good?
It sold out.
So what happened?
Nike got pissed because the insole had Miskeen in it, and they were like, no, because the insole should be Nike, but we had the insole. It said Miskeen.
So y'all threw that in there, like, let me put the Miskeen in there.
Was it part of the original agreement? Y'all was like, we need to put that in there? Like, who idea was it to put the insole, the Miskeen insole in the shoe?
The designer. So it wasn't our idea.
It wasn't your idea?
Did you put the whole name or just the handprint?
The hand, it was like, it looked like it was splashed with paint with the handprint and the Miskeen signature.
You see those sold on retro? What they call it? What the shoe sites are? They selling them?
Yes.
They sell shoes.
Wow.
Oh, you gotta give me. I want to cop one of them joints. I got a couple dollars now. I might be able to buy one. I couldn't buy them back then.
Like, what do things look like for you now?
So currently, I'm retired.
Okay.
At 51, I'm retired.
Right. Okay.
So my day consists of going to the gym and coming home, making my salad, and that's it.
Right.
And my kids, they keep me busy. Every day someone is calling me, talking about that you're not doing anything. Can you help me with this?
So being in a position, you retire, you've been a culture influencer. I guess you was an influencer before it was even a term, right?
Yes.
Like, how do you view the landscape of Philly Muslim culture now?
You're trying to set me up.
No, I'm not. I mean, it's a question that we ask because we care about, you know, how we represent. We care about our city. We care about the youth. We care about, you know, because we care about the way Islam is represented.
So the one thing about us is with Miskeen, everyone who worked there was Muslim.
Right.
So we were like a big family. Right now, I think that these young people are crazy. They are more interested in taking shahada for the street and not for Allah.
I mean, it's fair. It's fair.
Yeah.
Like, it's a fair assessment, you know, from somebody that, you know, been Muslim a long time, been an influence in the culture, and has taken it seriously from the beginning.
I think though, Mark, you coming from a little older stage. I come from a younger stage where I'll say, or tell me if you disagree. I think now you're right. There's issues in the Muslim community. We have some of these issues, control, whatever. But it's also just way more Muslims. Whereas before, since it was a smaller pool, you kind of didn't see or hear about us as much. So the positive was easier to see. Now you got way more.
The thing about it was the community was small, so everyone knew everyone.
Exactly.
Right now, someone walking down the street can give me celebs and I don't know them.
That was a crazy time where you knew who was Muslim. You know, it's funny because still sometimes now when I see somebody, especially when I go to different countries, I see somebody Muslim, I want to give them the salams because being an affiliate, that's all you knew. You was happy to see a Muslim. So it was weird. Recently, I realized that it's because I'm from Philly and an African-American Muslim that I want to give everybody salams. But people who are like foreign or people who just come from other countries or whatever, they don't never give you the salams. And you'd be like kind of like feeling offended, but it's like that's how we grew up because you finally saw somebody Muslim. You're like, Assalamu alaikum, you know what I'm saying?
The crazy thing is, I went to the Eid this year in Delaware. And someone that I see all the time, I was like, you're Muslim and you never give me salams.
Wow. You know, I think that's a big part of it. And knowing how important giving the greetings is, you know, and how, like, what it does for brotherhood and sisterhood, it's just an important part that, you know, when you start getting down to the fundamentals and the basics. I want to go back a little bit to you being a triathlete prior to the cardiac arrest incident. What does it mean to be a duathlete?
Duathlon is run, bike, run.
Run, bike, run.
Triathlon is swim, bike, run.
Run, bike, swim.
No, swim, bike, run.
Oh, okay.
So you swim first, and
Okay.
then you get on the bike, and then you run.
Okay.
Duathlon is run. You run, and then you bike, and then you run again.
What was it like trying to make Team USA as a duathlete? Like, what is that training regimen?
Crazy.
I would train twice a day for at least like 2 hours in the morning and 2 hours at night, twice a day for like 10 weeks.
What does the training consist of?
Running and biking.
Just running and biking.
Just run.
And strength training.
And strength training.
But Mark doesn't say he's an athlete from young. He's a football player, you know, and all football players are very athletic. So, you know,
Please.
it's a natural progression, right? You know, it was only right he would be a triathlete.
Like, where are you drawing from? You know, because when you run in and you bike in, it's an inner strength that you have to develop. Where are you drawing that from?
I think that it comes from my competitive nature.
Right.
You're a father. How many kids you have now?
3.
3? So I'm like, you have 3 kids, a couple of them grown. Talk to me about now this stage of fatherhood. Now your kids are grown. You know, one of your sons, he's in law school. Your daughter, I'm not sure what she's doing. I know your youngest kid.
She works in the hospital.
Works in the hospital. So tell me a little bit about that now, that stage as a father. How do you feel now after seeing them grow and putting all that work in? Because I know they were your heart for a long, long, long time.
So I just let them be them.
Mashallah.
I just try to stay out of their way and let them do them. And I just appreciate them for who they are. When they're little, you need to be on their behinds.
Okay.
But as they get older, let them go.
Mashallah.
So normally we kind of at the end we try to ask some questions and stuff to kind of lighten it up. All right. So the first question is, what do you want to be as a kid?
A doctor.
Why a doctor?
Because they made a lot of money.
Okay. All right. And eventually you just went into, what made you decide to go into like finance and accounting?
So I took a class my senior year, and I knew that that's my world from there. I took an accounting class.
Can you tell me the worst job you ever had?
At Pathway.
Pathway.
Yes. I thought that when I was growing up, I couldn't get a job out of a supermarket. I would try and they wouldn't hire me. I was like, I'm not going to be the manager of the supermarket.
Right.
Pathway or Pathmark?
Pathway.
I don't remember Pathway.
Yeah,
You remember Pathway?
Pathway was on Germantown Avenue.
What was your job at Pathway? What did you do?
I would rotate the milk.
Rotate the milk?
Rotate the milk.
And mop the floors.
Did you quit, or you just wound up getting something else?
I wound up getting another job.
Yeah.
All right. What's your favorite Philly slang word?
Boy.
Bull.
Yes.
Yeah, bull.
Bull?
Bull.
Yeah. Either John or Bull. Usually.
John, yeah, John. It's
John
either
or
John, Bull. I mean, we got some other wild card stuff, but
Yeah.
yeah, I got like Yamin and stuff like that. But what person influenced you the most?
My mom.
Your mom.
Because she worked so hard.
Mm-hmm.
I would see her get up with arthritis and go to work every day. So she's my inspiration.
All right. Water ice or Mr. Softy?
Water.
I don't know who uses Mr. Softy anymore.
Everybody use Mr. Softy.
Who does
The
that?
truck, the ice cream truck.
Nobody. That's the little nasty kid. And but they get the ice cream sandwich on it. Nobody getting that little.
No, they get the little with the jimmies and all that kit, bro.
Water ice. Everybody, water ice. Water ice. It ain't called water, by the way. Water.
We appreciate you. We appreciate you sharing your story. Definitely very powerful. Puts things in perspective to kind of hear, and also makes you appreciate, just being able to be here. We're all glad that you were able to make through, and that we, like I said, to sit here and have this conversation. I think it's important. Thanks for coming on Third Party Podcast, episode 5, season 2, Third Party Podcast.